All right, hey everyone. Tonight I'm going to do a little walkthrough of the Ensoniq ESQ-1. This is a synthesizer I have never turned on. I've seen a lot about it. I've used other hybrid synthesizers like the Prophet 12 and the Ambica, which is probably the best hybrid synthesizer I've ever used. And just in case you have no idea what a hybrid synthesizer is, it is one which typically uses digital oscillators along with analog filters. My Spectralis is also a hybrid synthesizer, except that one is kind of like a monophonic rather than polyphonic, which the Ensoniq is. So what you're looking at right now is a model that I have never turned on. And now I'm sitting here and wanted to do this video because a friend of mine said, hey, you should do a video like this where you've never used it and just kind of walk through it. And he thought that would be interesting. Not that he thought that this video itself would be interesting. So why is this here? A friend of mine gave it to me. It was very nice of him. He gave it to me because I guess I'm helping him fix some of his synthesizers, if I could say the word right. And so yeah, let's see what happens when we turn it on. Oh God. I wonder if that came out in the thing. Okay, so warning. It said battery voltage was low. Oh my goodness, there is a lot going on here. So let's just see how this thing sounds when you press a key. Oh gosh, yeah, that kind of sounds interesting. So it looks like you can select different sounds. All right, first thing I realize I need to do is turn the mod wheel down. Oh yeah, that sounds good. Wow. Okay. Wow, that's awesome. I was really surprised. I wonder now how all these things sound because that's that mod wheel being up. All right, so I have to make sure that the camera here is showing everything. You probably can't see it super well because I don't know what my aperture is set at. So like the depth of field might be out of whack for what you can see. I know I like kind of just made sure it was in focus here. And so you might not see this, but this appears to be all the things that you can select. So I'm guessing when I press all these buttons, they're going to change what's on the screen here. And so let's just work with this wave bell. Gosh, that sounded good. So it looks like this is 3 oscillators. I think this is an 8-voice synthesizer. I literally didn't pay any attention. I just turned this thing on and we're going with it. We're going to just see how this video turns out. Yeah, that seems like the best way to do this because if I put any effort into it, Wait, no, I just won't put any effort into it. So enjoy the effortlessness. So yeah, so we've got 3 oscillators and it looks like they go through their own amp envelopes. I don't actually know, DCA 1, 2, and 3. And then it goes through a filter and then it goes through a final amp. So you got different LFOs, and so it looks like you got 3 LFOs and 4 envelopes. That's awesome. And I don't know what modes is, so let's see what modes, what mode there is. Okay, so it's like telling you whether you can have amplitude, modulation, monophonic, sync, restart. I guess that's honestly, I don't. Oh, okay. So I guess Yeah, I'm not sure. So it's restart for the VC. What the hell is that? I don't know. Envelope on, oscillator on, cycle. Maybe this CYC off is like, wait, how do you change it? Oh, okay. So you press these things. Okay, so you must have data entry. Oh, yeah, cool. So you got data entry, and there's 2 different ways to do it. That's good in case one of the ways fails. I've used synthesizers where, like, if you have like one way to change the data entry and it stops working, then you're kind of screwed. Where it's nice when you've got like multiple ways to change the values of things. So I'm not going to touch sequencer on this because like I just won't. All right, so we got different envelopes, and I don't know how things are routed in here. All right, so let's just start with time 1. Let's see what that's affecting. So I'm going to throw that to the max. So that wasn't the amp. I wonder if it relates to these. I don't know. I'm going to just be talking out of... Oh, one thing I don't like here is that when I switch to a different page, it doesn't stay highlighting the thing. So if I'm on... Wait a minute. It does look like it is. Why did that not do that before? Okay, well, whatever. So, yep, that's weird. Okay, so envelope 4 must be the like final amplitude, or the amplitude envelope. Well, that sounds really good. Okay, so let's just... I'm totally going out of order here. So let's just turn the time to 0. So it'll kind of go on and off. And for the amplitude, let's turn the filter down so I can figure out which envelope that is. So I'm going to turn the frequency all the way down. It says envelope 4. So is that for envelope 4? Whoops. Okay, let's just turn this down to 0. I mean, it says it's part of... Okay, so I'm going to try and figure out what I'm doing here. So we've got your oscillators, and it tells you the different things. So can I turn them off? No. How do I turn them off? Well, they must be off. Nope, I can kind of hear them here. Output. Okay, so let's turn off oscillator 2 and 3. Let's see if that's... All right, there. Now we're just stuck with oscillator 1. All right. Okay, so now we're just listening to oscillator 1. And it's going through this DCA 1. So I don't know. Oh, okay. So let's see. Looks like you can change what's the modifier. So you could have envelope 1 being the modifier. So let's see what happens when I use envelope 1 here. So if I change the time to 63, okay, I thought it would have. I thought it would have kind of been slow to come in, so I'm not really sure. Okay, let's go back there, and instead of using envelope 1, because I don't know what's going on, let's try LFO 1. Now, let's... Okay, so yeah, I can hear that that's affecting it. And you can turn like the level of the LFO off or on. So you can hear that the frequency is now being affected by it. I have no idea. So there's some weird parameters here for LFO. So LFO has frequency, reset, which I think is kind of whether like pressing the key is going to reset it. So like I think that would be kind of whether they're all active on at what is it called? Kind of all active. The LFO is global. So if you turn reset on, I think that they should be kind of going at their own rates per key. Oh, you can change the wave shape. Oh, you can change it to noise. This has delay. The noise is not very fast. That's kind of a shame. Okay. All right, so we're on I mean, all of the LFOs are probably going to do the same thing. So I'm not telling you a lot by avoiding LFO 2 and 3 right now. Okay. So we kind of explored that a little bit. So why didn't envelope 1? I guess, I don't, yeah. I'm guessing when you go to Oscillator 1 and I want it to be modified by LFO 1, so if I'm in the oscillator mode here, LFO 1, and I change that to max, I bet the LFO is going to go, it's going to sound crazy when I turn the level up. So it sounds fine, and I bet now the pitch of it's going to go crazy because in the oscillator section it should. Yeah. So let's turn the frequency down. Exactly. Okay, so that's what I would expect. So I'm going to turn that back down, and I have to turn it to 0. What is off? Oh, these are different ways you can modulate it. So some of these are mod sources. So LFO, or you could choose something else. You could choose multiple things. Keyboard, velocity, envelopes, LFOs. So then what confuses me is this envelope 1 for the, if you go here, so you've got your oscillator, it goes through its own amp, and then it goes through the filter, and then goes through another amp. I think that's what that means. So if I set it to envelope 1, why? Time to envelope, or time to the level 1 should be 63, but I still hear it. So I don't really know why I'm hearing that. So that perplexes me. So let's make this DCA2 because it looks like it's going through both of them. Maybe that's only if you do amplitude modulation. And where was that? That was under, okay, so it's off. So if I went to modes and turn amplitude modulation off or on, that would kind of dictate where oscillator 1's getting sent. And I don't think sync is on, so it's not going to oscillator 2. So why? Why am I unable to, well, wait. So yeah, level, or I guess level. Yeah, I have no idea why I cannot get this envelope to affect, envelope 1 to affect the amp. So I guess I'll try it with this one. Nah, it's not doing anything. All right, well, you know, someday I'm going to figure that out. I'm pretty sure. Unless I turn it to 0 and... No. Okay. Well, I didn't figure it out. So let's just say that we want the filter now. Let's figure out the filter because that's easier, I guess. So we're going to set that to envelope 3. So we'll say envelope 3 is going to affect it. And I don't want the keyboard to affect it as much. So it's set to 18 right now. So I'm going to just turn it off. And let's see if we can get envelope 3 to do what I want it to do. So the level, we'll just set it to 0 again. Ah, okay. So see, we are hearing something. Okay, so I can make that work. Okay, so I've never really heard this filter. Envelope 3. So we're going to set the time to end. So level 3 and level 2, I'm going to just set to like max. And then the time for the T4 is probably like the release. Yeah, T4. And then we'll do that for envelope 3, have a long release time. And then I'm going to go back to oscillator 1. I'm going to set the octave higher. And then what we should do is set LFO1 to kind of barely modulate the pitch. And we're going to turn the level up. We'll change the wave shape to triangle. Oh, that sounds nice. What I'll do with the filter is have the keyboard track. So let's turn that up. Yeah, that's great. So let's hear what it sounds like with the resonance up. And let's use to have the filter also affected by velocity. That usually sounds good. I'll turn the keyboard. Yeah, that sounds really good. And I'm sure you'll have heard already, I'm definitely going to have some reverb on this because I just like how it sounds. I wonder if can I mod the panning? Oh, I'm going to try. So if I went to DCA 4, it has pan, and then it's got some modifiers here. And I don't know if this mod over here is specifically for the volume itself, and then this mod over here is for panning. So let's see. It is. Okay, so let's change this to LFO 3. And make sure I turn this back down for the pitch, because LFO 1 was like set to pitch. So now I turn that back down, and I'm gonna turn this up, LFO 3. Change the waveform to triangle. Oh man, that's so good. You can like quickly shift octaves. That's something I don't like about the synths from the 80s. They just don't have octave transpose. It's a little difficult, so. Let's see what amplitude modulation does. Oh. So is that going to be like dependent on... Yeah, it's going to be dependent on Oscillator 2. Oh man, the waves you get on these are like, you get a bunch of them. Okay, so let's unpack that for a second. So the wave shapes for these different oscillators. I'm on Oscillator 2. You've got wave, saw, bell. Weird that bell is second from saw, because I would have thought square would have been. So saw, bell, sine, square. There it is. High pulse. Noise 1, 2, 3. Bass. Piano. I bet that doesn't sound like a piano. El piano, which is, you know, must be a Spanish piano. And then voice 1, 2, and kick. Oh man, that's doing all sorts of fun things. Holy buckets. This is nuts. I'm kind of surprised a kick sound makes the like Oscillator 1 go where it goes. Wow. That is awesome. I'm so glad you're hearing this with me. Well, maybe not at the same time, but you know, that is wicked. Okay, let's see what else there is. Reed. I have a neighbor named Reed. He's always doing gardening. Well, that's not true. I see him out there gardening sometimes. And then his buckets from his taps get kicked all over the place in the wind. And I have to rescue them. He doesn't know. He doesn't know I rescue them and throw them back in his little garden. He just moves along his day, thinking it's totally fine. All right, so I'm on synth 1. I'm sorry, I was like not paying attention. So we got reed, organ, synth 1, 2, 3, formant 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pulse. Wait, 5, yeah, formants. Pulse 2, square 2, 4 octaves. I think it's like must be fourths. I don't know. Prime. I don't know what that means. Bass 2, E piano 2, octave. Some octave 5. Okay, so it's got a few sounds here. Okay. I'm not playing those, though. I'm doing like some amplitude modulation here, which is not the same. So what I was interested in was like how noise sounds. I love how noise can modulate sounds because it makes them sound all sorts of crazy. But all the other sounds I was using made Oscillator 1 sound crazy. But yeah, that's good. It doesn't seem like I can modulate how much amplitude affects it. That's kind of a bummer. I think it's just like on or off. Because Oscillator 2 is like its volume is off, I think. Yeah, the level's off, the output's off, but it's still affecting Oscillator 1. And it is definitely doing some crazy stuff. All right. That's with it off. This is with it on. I mean, that is cool. That was very good. And let's see if we turn sync on. Oh, it turned amplitude modulation off. It decided it didn't want to have both. So let's turn DCA 2 or Oscillator 2 on, and I'm going to turn Oscillator 1 off. And that I guess means that Oscillator 2 is not going to make any sounds. I think. Oh, the output's off. That'll do it. Oh, man, that is so good. Okay, So now with sync on, oscillator 2 is set to noise, but now I get into a lot of trouble with figuring out what's modulating what here. But I'm guessing oscillator 1 is modulating oscillator 2. I mean, that's awesome. I'm going to turn the resonance up. So let's set oscillator 2's octave way down with the noise. I guess let's set oscillator 1 down too. Or up. Oh, that did it. That confused it. I love how this sounds. I can't believe I've never used this thing. Whoops. Yeah. I wish the context dependent stuff would stay where it was. Maybe it stays there for when you're there. Okay, so envelope 3, I'm going to set it to T3, and then envelope 1 should come back to T1. Oh, and it does. So now if I go back to envelope 3, oh, it's over there. Okay, that makes sense. I kind of wish it just stayed where I was at so that it's easier to modulate things, but at least now I understand why the cursor is where it is. Okay, so sync, that's amazing. That sounds so good. All right, let's turn the time. Whoops. Yeah, you see, I did it again. All right. So velocity should still have like a really strong effect. Maybe I'll turn envelope 3 off for the filter. Man, I've never heard a synth make these kinds of sounds. Well, wait, no, that's not true. The Ensoniq Mirage, when it was dying on me, made sounds like this. It was really cool. Okay, so now let's have oscillator 2 be different sounds. So we're going to go to noise 2. All right, let's go to El Piano. And we're going to set the octave transpose down. Wait, that doesn't do anything for that. So I got to do it for oscillator 1, I guess. This is fantastic. What a gorgeous synthesizer. I really do like this. Of course, everyone likes the synthesizer that they get the first time that they play it, I think. Although that is not true. I did not like the Waldorf Kyra the first time I played it, and every time I played it. And the Roland JD 800 was something I didn't really appreciate either. That one I do like now. All right, let's set the envelopes to coming in, really long attacks. Whoops. I honestly cannot cannot believe how good this sounds. Okay, so what am I cycling here? So if I went to modes, there's like cycle. I'm just not going to mess with it. Sorry. I'm sure it's in the manual. Tells you. I still also don't know what VC restart means. Because the only words coming through my head on that is voltage control. And I'm guessing that's not right. You can turn it to mono mode. You can do glide. I'm just keeping it simple, though. I still cannot figure out what this DCA channel is for. So, I mean, so if I set the wheel, no, not the wheel. Let's set the velocity. No, I don't want velocity. So let's set LFO 1 for DCA output 2, and that should be at 100. Wait, no, let's do LFO 2. That's going to be at 63. So let's go to that. The level is that now 100%. Let's set. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. I'm totally going to have to read up on that because, like, I don't have a clue. LFO 2, you're not doing anything for DCA 2 that I know of. It's a mod, though. It seems like it should work. But I'm going to just, like, stress myself out not figuring this out. So if I turn the level down all the way but have LFO 2. Oh. There it is. And you know what is also affecting it now? Envelope 4. So let's turn envelope 4 down. Wow, this took me way too long to figure out what's going on. So if I turn envelope 4 down, no, let's turn it back up and we'll have its time to 0. Now we go back to DCA 2, envelope 4 is at 0. If I turn DCA level to 0, well, I guess I figured that. I mean, I always knew that the LFO would work. So let's set this to be envelope 2. Yeah, we're going to set it to envelope 2. So it's just on. So now we'll have it set envelope 2. And I'm going to turn the DCA level to 0. Okay, now we'll throw the time. Let's see. All right, so it does work. It's just that you have to be careful about your DCA level, I guess, and how it's like how the modifiers are working against it. I don't know. I'm too tired to figure it out, to be honest. So just accept that's the way it's going to be tonight. I better turn my monitor back on. If that thing turns off like after 10 minutes, it like stops the programs on my computer. It's real annoying. Okay, so that was super awesome. I'm not sure what else to really show you because I don't know. That was like a first pass. It looks like I've got a cartridge to put stuff in if I wanted to. I don't know what I'd put in there. It doesn't seem like it needs anything else. What I like about the chassis here, if you're not familiar with it, it's like the same size as the Mirage. And that thing is spectacular. It's like the same kind of build, although I wonder how much like I wonder how much deeper this is compared to that. I've got the Mirage in the other room. It's like from the same age or same era. This feels like the metal one. I know there's like a plastic one too. Anyway, this is super awesome. I kind of can't believe my friend gave it to me. Man, these are so cool. So let's just change waveform or oscillator one's wave. Oh man. I don't even know how it's coming up with like an actual pitch, because both oscillators are set right now to noise, different variants of noise, and yet because oscillator 3 is off, so oscillator 2 and 1 somehow are coming up with like a pitch that sounds amazing, even though their waveforms are both noise. Noise shouldn't have a pitch. But now I got to test it. So let's turn off sync. And let's set envelope 4 to just be on or off. Yeah, as you can hear, these things are wild. Okay, so I'm turning oscillator 2 off. And okay, I guess I was wrong, because the noise 2 has a pitch. Okay, I'm going to turn the filter velocity off. And we're just going to turn the frequency like 127, so it's just open. Okay, I guess noise on here does in fact have pitch. That's weird, but that's the way they chose to do it. I wonder if there's a way to make it so that the pitch doesn't change. So like almost having a key tracking be negative. So let's see if that works. Keyboard negative. No, I mean, at least not in a simple way. Let's see what noise 3 is like. You know what? Why don't we do that? Why don't we go through all the different waveforms so you can just hear them? And I'll turn off LFO 1 for modulating it in the keyboard. Oh yeah, I guess I had the keyboard tracking for the pitch. So here are the different waves. Saw sounds good. Bell. Oh yeah. Wait a minute. Uh-oh, that key's gonna need fixing. Anyway, so that sounds good. This is sine. Sounds nice too. I like the, I don't know if you can hear it, but I kind of like it when there's noise introduced when you play notes that isn't there when you release it, that is just part of like the oscillator. Okay, square wave. I wonder if you can do pulse width modulation with this. Probably not, because I don't see how you could. I think you can do a lot of other cool things though, but maybe you can. I don't understand why you'd have a square wave and a pulse wave. So yeah, that's pulse wave. And then noise we heard. Noise 2. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Noise 1 and 3 sound similar. Bass. Whoops. Yeah. Okay, so bass doesn't sound very bassy to me. Maybe we gotta switch the octave. I don't know who thought that was a bass. Okay, I don't care. Piano. I mean, I really don't know who thought that was a piano either. Well, that doesn't sound like a piano. But, you know, these are cool sounds anyway. So here's el piano. Piano? El piano? Voice 1. Voice 2. Whoa, there's no voice 3. Kick. Who thought that was a kick? I thought it would have made like a boom, boom. But it didn't. It made not a boom. Oh, wait, it does. That's cool. It is a kick. It's just like repeated. Okay, that's super neat. I wonder. Okay, well, I guess that's just the way it is. Reed. Okay, reed. Organ. Yeah. Okay, so that organ sounds pretty good. It sounds like an organ. That's like the only one that's been realistic. Oh, I am tired. Yikes. Okay, synth 1 sounds like a bell. So synth 1, synth 2, synth 3, synth 4. Well, there's no synth 4. Formant. Formant 2. They sound almost identical. 2, 3, 4, 5. Pulse 2. Square 2. 4 oct 5. Prime. Whoops. Whoops. I kind of. Okay, that was prime. Bass 2. El piano 2. Octave. Octave plus 5. All right, that was it. So that's like all the different sounds and other things. You know, I'm probably gonna have to figure out how to. I mean, it'd be really cool, and maybe it can't do it. Is like modulate between waves, or if there's like some sort of modulation of the waveform. So like the Ambica does stuff like that. Like you have what it's like parameter for the Ambica, where it lets you kind of morph into its own wave shape, and that sounds really good. I guess I don't know right now which sounds better between the two. I think they both sound really good. I haven't really played with the envelopes of the Ensoniq here, because like to me the envelopes of the Ambica just sound so good. They're so snappy. And I'm trying to think of the only other synths that I feel like have that really quick, snappy filters. Well, I'm sorry, not filters, envelopes, are the Jupiter 6 and the Junos, like Juno 6 and 60. I don't really know about the 106. So I haven't heard. Well, I guess I mean, well, hey, let's just see. Let's just do it because we're here. All right. So we're gonna use envelope 2 envelope 3 for the filter, and we're gonna turn time 3 and time 4 to 0. So let's start affecting time 2. I mean, it doesn't sound great to me. So I set T3 up a little bit so it kind of can give it a little bit of a curve. I mean, they sound okay. It doesn't have the same snappiness as the other ones, but it doesn't sound bad. And that's good. Here, we'll... Yeah, it's okay. It doesn't really strike me as like something, the envelopes being something special. What seems special about the ESQ is, from what I can tell, on a first play, I'd never touched this thing before, is the oscillators and how they sync together. The filter sounds really nice. The layout and how you kind of modulate everything's really easy and pretty simple. You know, you could tell I only got caught up a little bit on like DCA 1 through 3 and how it was modified by the envelopes. And that seemed pretty simple to figure out once you turn the level down. The envelopes or the modulators seem to have a better handle on modulating them. Obviously, I didn't get into the sequencer, and I mean, that would probably turn out terrible. I hear it's really easy, so I should give it some time. But I think this thing sounds really good. I do think it's not exactly the quickest synthesizer to work with. It's not like, oh, okay, I can just do this and that and it just works. It seems like it takes a little bit of forethought. I honestly don't know why there are 3 amp DCA levels and things. I suppose you need to be able to turn it on and off, and it's nice to see that you've got some way, these DCA 1 through 3 allows you to use the different envelopes and LFOs to modulate the sound. Obviously, that That's pretty beneficial. I can tell where the magic is in using sync or amplitude modulation. Those two things kind of were like, wow, that sounds great. And yeah, you know, maybe I'll find that maybe I'm going to find that, oh, you can modify things in different ways, and I just haven't figured it out yet. I mean, what would you expect? I don't even know. Oh, wow, I've been here for 52 minutes doing this. So, I mean, in like 52 minutes, I guess I figured something out. I don't know. Maybe this video is like totally useless for people, but it was fun to make. I guess I'm not done because I actually have to upload it and all sorts of other things. And lots of other synthesizers that I could be playing with right now. But I'm not. Well, anyway, I guess if you have any questions, or not that I know the answers to any of the questions you're going to ask, but I suppose, you know, anything else I'd say about it, the keybed feels pretty nice. Oh, you know what? I did have an Ensoniq ESQ-1 in my studio once, and I bought it from Music-Around, and it didn't work. When I'd power it on, it would just shut right off. Like you'd see it kind of flash up here, and then it turned right off, and it didn't work. And I brought it back the next day, and the people there were like, "Oh, we won't take it back." And I said, "Well, I don't want it because it doesn't really work in my studio." And then they said, "What did they tell me?" Oh, they said, "Oh yeah, we'll take it back for a 15% restocking fee." And I said, "Restocking fee? Like what could you possibly need a restocking fee for? Like, I just bought this yesterday and I want to just return it because it doesn't work." And then they said, "Well, we'll have somebody look at it and we'll have somebody fix it for you." And I said, "Well, it works here because we tested it there again and it worked." And I was like, it works. So something's weird about my electrical at my house. I don't know, but I don't want it in my house now because like I don't trust it. And we fought back and forth for like 30 minutes. Finally, I said, "I'm leaving it here. I'm going to talk to your manager when you get back." And some guy there said, "Fine, I'll just take it back." And he got all upset with me. He grabbed the thing and refunded me the money, and I left. And thank goodness, because I'm never stepping back in that place. So anyway, I'm actually pretty thankful the ESQ here turned on. I hear it has a better keybed than the SQ80, and the SQ80 has like, what is it called? Polyphonic aftertouch, which I don't care about. I know a lot of people love it. I don't care. I'm sure it's great. I think it's on my EPS. I never used it. I didn't care about it. Anyway, this is cool. This is a cool synthesizer. And I think it has way more character than my Prophet 12. I could get into more interesting territory using it. I do think the Prophet 12 is cool in its own way. It's just not sound-wise getting cool tones like this did. This kind of went nuts in a fun way. Although it's not even like, this isn't like my Jupiter or 6 that goes into a little different territory with like snappy envelopes. But it's a lot of fun, and I am surprised that the prices on these have always like stayed so low for so long. And I think it's just because it must just be because like the way to edit things seems a little daunting, and it's just buttons, and you know, buttons aren't fun, I guess. But you know, in the hour that I've been playing with it, it is a lot of fun. I didn't even bring in the third oscillator. I could have made like 3 saw waves that were all detuned. You know what would have been nice too, and not a lot of synths have this even today, which is just having a nice way to initialize patches. Maybe it does have that, and I've never used it. You know, I'm guessing I go over here, and you know what's funny is I actually don't know how to change patches. I'm realizing that now. Well, my camera turned off, so there's that. So I'm going to have to be done. You can't see anything anyway. I wonder when it gave up. Well, I'll talk to you later. Hope you enjoy. Bye.